Hello and welcome everyone to Expedition Online Kilimanjaro. I'm Jonathan Knight. With me for round 5 of our game here is Kimmy Page. How you doing today, Kimmy?
Hi, I'm so good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Things are really picking up after the last Crossroads, eh?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we just had a party swap, and unfortunately for Lindsay, she fell on the wrong side as that tribe swap. She would go out in the last Crossroads in a unanimous vote. It was already a bad situation for her, but it was really made worse when Kibo made the decision to abduct Austin, pretty much leaving Lindsay all to herself, didn't they? All by herself.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a weird decision. Unless they were totally okay with losing Lindsay, because obviously she's gonna have to work really hard to stay, which I don't necessarily think she did. I feel like she could have tried a lot harder and thrown names out there and lied and all of that. But yeah, she was definitely fighting an uphill battle.
Yeah, it seemed like Kibo really prioritized saving Austin as opposed to trying to save the both of them. Not that I really think that it would have changed too much, as the party lines have been pretty strong. On the other side, in Shira, we have Jon Snow and Ariana, who are finding themselves in a similar spot as Austin now, being the minority from their original party lines. What do you think these three players need to do to get themselves on the right side of the numbers?
I mean, it's hard. It's all about just staying alive, and you gotta just hope for the rendezvous. But for now, just try your best to win the competitions. Try to really integrate yourself socially in the new party so that you're someone that they want to keep and that can help them win. And also just keep your eyes peeled for anything that could be out there, because there's all kinds of advantages and hidden clues.
Absolutely, and with the ways that the clues are accumulating, so each player, once you receive a clue, you go up, and there are only a finite amount of clues. As you get further up, the clues become a lot easier to go and find the compass. And I mean, at this point, it's looking like some of these players are really going to have to start spending their time looking for these compass to save themselves, because original party lines look to be staying strong, but we never know what could happen. A lot's going to go on today, so let's not waste any more time. Let's send things over.
We had to go to Crossroads, and the easiest vote for us was to stay Kibo strong and vote out Lindsay. It was nothing against Lindsay. She fought really hard. She made some excellent points.
Lindsay did end up going home. When we got back to camp, everybody was chill because we knew that was going to be the obvious vote.
When I saw that Lindsay was voted out, I was like, ugh, it's not looking good for Austin next vote. But when Austin was at our camp, I was honestly just trying to look for an idol for him. I wanted to establish that trust between him. I wanted to, kind of not necessarily throw him a bone, but kind of give him that, that advantage to get further in the game, because I do know that he wants to play, and I do know that he's a good player, and I do know that he's trustworthy. So I was very solid on, if I got that advantage, I was going to give it to him. And I have searched for so long for this damn advantage, and I do not know where it is.
The Shira party had the opportunity to abduct somebody from the Kibo party at the challenge, and they decided to abduct Austin, which I think was not the smartest move, because if they had kept Austin in the Kibo and taken one of the Kibo members to Shira, Kibo would have had less people to vote against Shira in the Crossroads. And both Lindsay and Austin trying to flip at least one Kibo is easier than just Lindsay trying to flip 3 Kibo. So I think Shira, the new Shira tribe, kind of made the wrong game move by saving Austin.
Greetings, explorers! Today's challenge is the Silly Swing Relay. You will need a hat with a brim like a baseball hat. Before the challenge begins, you need to tie one end of the string to your marker or pen, and then take that piece of tape to attach the other end of the string to the brim of your hat. You will knock them over in order, one at a time. When you get to the double cups, you can only knock over one at a time. If they both fall over like that, your challenge mod will tell you to reset them. See how that only knocked over one at a time? And then I have to go back and knock over the second one. Once you've knocked down all of your cups in order, your challenge mod will tell the next explorer on your party to go.
Welcome, explorers, to the challenge. Shira sees Lindsay was voted out at the last crossroads. We are down to 11 explorers. We have a 6 versus 6 relay, which means for Kibo, they have an extra player who will be starting and finishing the relay.
Oh, okay.
Austin will be going twice.
Everybody gets to play.
All right. We like to have the stakes high here, so we are not just playing for exemption, we are playing for reward. We'll talk about the reward after the challenge. Guys ready to get going?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right, let's get our first two up. Austin and Jon Snow. Austin going for Kibo. Jon Snow going for Shira.
Yeah, numbers are getting low. So
all right, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. This challenge is underway.
We've got a few people who are in an obvious minority.
You got it, Austin. Good job, Austin.
Let's see what we got here.
There we go.
Nice, Austin.
There you go.
There you go, John.
Looks like.
Okay, John, let's go.
Good job.
Great.
That's it. Good job, Austin.
Nice.
Steady but sure. That's what's up. Let's go, John.
He's about 1 second.
Yeah, Austin.
Nicely done, Austin. Yeah, keep going, John.
Yeah. Beautiful.
All right,
The
John.
concentration.
Great.
It's hard to.
Careful with those.
Match.
Yes.
Great.
And Austin's got to go again.
Austin's only behind.
Yes.
Great job.
Good job, John.
Snow is done. Michael is done.
So John's behind by 2 cups.
So, Austin, you got this.
We got Michael now.
Good job, Austin.
Through it. Oh, pressure must be getting to Austin a little bit. Looks like he hit that guy. Giving it to him? Nope. He's got to actually knock it over.
Great job, Michael.
Oh no. This last cup looks like it's getting to him, AK.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Just
All right, take your time with those.
You got it, Austin.
Oh,
No.
You got it.
Austin.
it's getting in his head now.
There you go.
Good job, Austin.
Oh,
Wow, Michael, wow.
Here, Michael, take your time. It's okay. It's okay. Take your time. We have to
Good
lead.
job, Sneha.
Steady but
Yes,
sure,
good job.
In this, oh, she just dropped 3 cups there. She's gonna have to pick them back up.
Yeah, you got to be so precise.
Arliana may start.
Let's go.
Earliana is going.
Good job,
for it.
Sneha.
All right.
Let's go, Robin.
Okay,
go, Robin.
ahead. So Sneha
There you
breaks
go.
the lead a little bit.
Rock star, Liana. You're a rock star.
Yes, Robin.
Nicely done, Robin.
Arliana
Keep
is
going.
killing it.
One more.
That last cup.
Yes, Robin.
Go, Laney.
Robin is only behind by 2 cups at this
Not
point.
yet,
She
no,
makes
no.
up a cup as it looks right now.
Now.
Oh, here we go. We're down to Dane.
Good, Danielle.
And Lainey. Slowing
going.
down the pace just a little bit right now.
Everybody's camera. It's confusing.
Just keep circling.
Oh, no, that went.
Danielle, let's do it at a time.
Drop
Reset
both
those
at the
two.
same time. Finish. We're at Trent now. And Danielle. Danielle gets that last cup.
Let's go, Jordan.
This is a tight battle here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nicely done.
As we only have 2 to go on each side. They
Nice,
are
Jordan.
absolutely even. 100%
Wow.
even at this
Nice,
point.
Jordan. You got this, Jordan. Keep
Jordan
going.
off to a quick start here.
Nice.
Oh, there we
He's
go.
got one left. He's done it.
Trent is done.
Carl.
Oh, a little bit of, one more cup now for
Now Austin go. Now Austin go.
Here we go. So
You got
Carl
this. Keep going.
is a little
Nice
bit
and easy. Nice and easy.
Seeing
Big, small swing. Small
a little
swing.
bit of a run.
Nice.
Get control.
Good job, Carl.
Yeah, and Austin
on,
did it
Carl, you
once,
got it.
so.
Let's go.
Right,
Yes.
Last one.
Carl is actually flying through this right now. He has
Yeah.
some fingers
Come on, Austin. You got this.
Open a little bit. Oh,
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, Austin making a
Oh,
little
he
bit of
knocked
mess
over
there. Yeah,
a lot.
put them all back.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Austin. He is going to need a miracle here, or Kibo is going to be going back to Crossroads again.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
Austin
really
is
fighting
the
for his
only one
life.
from his original
One
party
more.
on that side. He's got to get
Carl.
that one. Oh, no,
Carl has one exemption
Carl.
for Shira. All right, Shira has won their second exemption in a row. We said we were playing for exemption for the party as well as reward. The reward is for the losing party to decide. The losing party has to make a decision. Who are you going to abduct? They will be going to Crossroads with you.
Do they get to vote with us as well?
Well, we'll find out after you select the name.
Info doc is going to give them right now, so that is interesting to see.
Yeah, he didn't say the win.
You guys have
party
any
would get
thoughts?
The
You
reward.
want to bring someone to target? You want to bring a weaker
Do y'all
player,
wanna-
stronger player?
I have an idea.
Okay.
What is it?
Name it.
I wouldn't mind Arliana to come over to our side for the vote. You guys feel okay with that?
That's bold.
I'm just worried that there's gonna be a twist and she's gonna get.
It has to be unanimous from all of you, and you have 1 minute.
It's either that or we can spin. So
I'm not seeing anyone pushing.
I mean, I'll spin. If you guys want to spin, I'll spin. I don't care.
I don't care either. I don't care either or.
I don't care which way.
I don't care
Sounds
which
like
way.
a unanimous vote for Arliana then.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would rather bring Arliana back, but if you guys want to spin, we can spin.
I'm fine
I don't-
with whatever.
Yeah, we can do either or.
A group decision in front of everyone.
Let's do
wondering how
Arliana.
that's gonna
Okay.
Let's
let's
go.
do it.
Okay.
fit with everyone.
Arliana.
Okay, so
Yeah.
within a minute, you guys have a unanimous decision to bring Arliana over. Arliana, how does that make you feel that you're going to Crossroads tonight?
Everyone let Robin get his way there.
Nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He's
all
emerging
right,
as a
well,
leader.
It wouldn't be
Pretty
fair if you were eligible to be voted when you came over because your team just won exemption.
She did
We're going to
win
give you the choice. You can vote with them tonight and give up exemption, or you can go to Crossroads, not vote, and then you will have exemption at the Crossroads. But you will join them at camp, and you will join them at
But
Crossroads.
she's
So
gotta
you either
give
have a
up- she's
vote
gotta give
or you
up
have exemption.
Safety,
But
to
you
do
don't
it,
get
though.
both.
It's
I would say I
That's-
don't need to vote.
yeah. I was
Always
gonna
scary.
say,
You're going to be exempt.
why stick your neck out? At
Yes.
this point?
You mean
I mean,
exempted,
numbers are
like,
close, of
I can't get a
course.
vote.
Correct. Exempt means they cannot place
the way
a
the
vote for
numbers
you.
broke down here.
Okay, and if I
Lauren
choose
and
to be
Austin's in a lot of
exempt,
trouble.
I'm just gonna say I'm just gonna do no vote.
Okay, you're already deciding
Smart.
no vote. Okay, so
Yeah.
you will
I think
you
where
will
she is
be
in
with
the
the
game.
losing party for strategy time. Head back to camp.
Okay, there you have it. Kibo unfortunately loses another exemption challenge as Shira proving to be too much in this one. And unfortunately, a former Shira party member really put in a tough spot this round because of this, isn't it? It's Austin, the only former Shira amongst a bunch of Kibos here.
Yeah, I mean, he got kind of lucky last time that he was abducted, but now I feel like he's definitely sweating because he, like, all eyes are on him. You know, he's the only one on the out, so he must be really nervous.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him, he wasn't there to see Lindsay fight because I think she kind of, if she didn't develop any cracks, she at least started some cracks there. So it's going to be kind of on Austin to figure out where those may be. Do you see kind of any path for Austin here going into this strategy session?
I mean, it's hard because I don't think he knows them very well. But the only thing you can really go off of is what you see, and a lot of what you see is at challenges. So, I mean, you see someone like Robin who's like more outspoken and might be like perceived as kind of a leader, and that I feel like that's always someone good to kind of point a target at because that's the person that you perceive to be kind of in control and is going to be a threat in the long-term game.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, Robin has not been shy about taking kind of the leadership role, even in the decision that we had after the competition on which player to abduct. It's going to be interesting to see how she's going to fit into this. She does not have a vote. She chooses to stay safe.
Boom! We fail again and we lose again. I couldn't literally believe it.
That was so difficult. I remember just swaying my head back and forth trying to get this one cup, and my knees were shaking a little bit. I was like, why am I so nervous? But we ended up losing, and I volunteered to go first and last because I was already on the bottom. It couldn't hurt more. It could only help my odds because I could save our team. And it did come down to me and their last person, but they had a little bit of a lead on us. So, I unfortunately missed it or didn't finish, but I was at the last 2 cups.
I tried.
You're fine.
No, don't even. It was really close. Like, even they were really close to us. So,
like,
not your fault.
All of these games are like, again, like not like luck based, but like sometimes it's not like it's pretty like dicey.
And
every
the
single
material,
game.
like each individual has, is different too. So that makes a difference.
John is a snake, okay? So
I told you guys.
So he's already gone over there, and within 1 minute of being in that tribe, he said, screw that tribe, I'm with you guys now. Like, I have no loyalty to them.
I knew this was gonna happen. Like I told you guys, I did not end up on good terms with Jon Snow. Like me and Jon Snow did not end up on good terms, and like he is slimy.
Very. So I already know he's like totally trying to talk everyone against me. But it was a little scary because they all went into their groups, and then there was nowhere for me and John to go. So then I went into a 2-person group and just waited for someone to join me. So
well, it's almost good that we're going to tribal because we can stay Kibo strong and get rid of Ashira.
I really hope that they see that John is slimy versus me,
Yeah, hopefully there's another swap or we go to merge before we have to worry about you guys going to tribal with them.
Okay.
How many advantages do you have?
I have none.
You didn't get any of the clues?
I got clues, but I haven't found anything.
Oh, no. I don't think anybody's found anything, to be honest. But, like, you have some of the clues. Like, I tried to look. The most thing I can think of is Matika's Peak, Mount Olympus, Greece. But I can't find...
How many clues have you gotten?
3.
You've gotten 3? I've only gotten 2.
So the third clue is... Tell anyone I'm sharing this with you.
I promise I will not.
A reality show similar to our game was played in the same continent as this particular summit, where an advantage is hidden.
Okay.
So whatever that means.
What's going on? Talk to me.
Well, obviously I'm at the bottom, and I hate saying that. But I mean, if I was thinking, what better place to be on a team with Jordan and Robin, who were one of the other 2 people who on day 0 I was down and like ready to work this game with.
Right.
I feel like maybe we can make some moves. The only other thing I was thinking is if I go, you'll be the only guy on this team. And I don't ever like the whole gender, like girl alliance.
No, I know what you're saying, and I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah, so I mean that's my only thing is like if we could pull Yumi and Jordan in, then we can still get Trent and Carl from our original day 0.
How are you doing over there with Trent and Carl?
Oh, I'm pretty close with Carl. Carl and I are like this, so I know once I get Carl, or once we make it to the rendezvous, I'll have Carl. I feel like Trent, I'm kind of like letting him think he's making the decisions.
And
I don't want to like rival him at all. So he's kind of like the leader over there. Yeah. But I feel like being that he's a Southern gentleman, he would still stick true to our day 0 alliance. Because who else does he have over there? Jon Snow, he's worried about. Arliana is a huge threat, but she can't be voted out.
We get back to the party and it was clear that I was on the bottom, so I knew I had my work cut out for me.
So what are your thoughts? I mean, are you and Jordan, have you guys kind of stayed with that day 0 alliance?
So, like, I would say that out of everyone over here right now, I'm definitely tightest with Jordan. But, like, and I'm just going to, like, shoot straight with you. I'm not going to, like, lie to you or BS you. Like, it's going to be tough for you. Just because...
I mean, I'm the only one that
Yeah.
isn't the major one.
And like, we went to Crossroads with Lindsay, and there was so much like I think Docs was really trying to like push like, oh, maybe you guys can make a move, maybe like Lindsay can find a rift, maybe blah blah blah. But like,
so now you guys are strengthened through that.
that's the thing. And like, you know, the point that we made was like, we were all four of us were tight on the original party, right? So like, then we came over here and it's like, okay, well, we're from the original party, we're already tight together. Like, it's tough for me to imagine like going against numbers, right? Because you think about it, you guys have 4 over there and 1 here, and we have 4 here and 2 over there. So if we were to take out one of our own, it would be 5 and 5.
Right.
As opposed to 6 and 4, which if at 10 we do a rendezvous, well now, you know, unless something crazy happens, we're kind of set up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I'm thinking right now.
We won again, but we weren't able to take anybody, so still anxious to find out if Austin somehow saved himself. It's tough because winning these challenges, it's good for the Shira team who's left on the Shira team, but we're pretty much eliminating our other team members. Unless Austin can pull something off here. We'll find out today.
I want to keep Austin because we already had a bond at the beginning, and he would have been a shield for me. I told him, I said, hey man, if you can convince one of the girls to vote with you, then I'll flip.
Spill the tea.
So before, after the challenge, honestly, I was really thinking that we could have made a big move tonight.
Okay.
But the problem is that Austin is throwing you under the bus.
Austin put up even more of a fight. He started by talking to me about how I was going to be the only one left with a bunch of girls, which doesn't bother me at all. And then he started throwing my name out to the girls, which they promptly came back and told me. But it also tells me that maybe I need to not be driving the action so much. And this might just be like my own perception of the game.
Like, he was like, I told the girls that me and Robin had an alliance at the beginning, and he's also aligned with Carl. He was like, I'm voting for Robin tonight. He was like, honestly, I want to make a big move. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. It makes sense. Like I give him credit for trying to fight, right? Like,
yeah, I was willing to make a move tonight. Like, of course not against you, but like, you know, I was like, wow, that's his pitch. Well, he lost me once he said your name.
So here's what happened. Okay. So on night 0, remember me, you, Trent, and Austin ended up in a room together, and Trent was like, oh, this is the 4. That's the alliance that Austin is talking about. Yeah, and he was like, I didn't tell the girls that you were a part of the alliance, and I don't believe that. Yo, he's smart.
Yeah,
Austin,
I don't.
Because you know what he said to me? You know what he said to me? He goes, if I go, then you're alone with all the girls.
No, like we've been like this since day one.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that, right? I think that like when we were talking, he kind of saw, because I just told him straight up, I'm like, listen, you know, you're in a tough spot right now, yada, yada, yada. So I think when he found out that he wasn't going to be able to convince me, he went to you guys and tried to convince you.
Yeah, and I told him, I was like, me and you obviously haven't got to talk yet, so he probably just thought that my mind was already set on Kibo, only Kibo, original Kibo. So I was like, that's probably where you were coming from.
We're doing Austin, right? Mm-hmm. There's no I'm open to making a move too.
I'm open, but it's really
what's gonna benefit us? It's not gonna.
Because Danielle and Sneha, they have our backs 100%, and I feel like they'll vote wherever we want to go. Austin, because he started basically throwing you under the bus and stuff like that, that kind of put him in a bad situation. If he wouldn't have did that, then we probably would have been able to trust him a little more, and we probably could have worked with him.
Right.
I mean, I get where he's coming from too, because it is like, honestly, we are here to make big moves and stuff like that.
He's fighting, and it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
it makes sense. It totally makes sense.
I really hope that Austin pulls through. I need him to make it through. Like, honestly, I need him to make it through. Jon Snow gave him the people to talk to. I think those are good people. I was trying to tell him to talk to Jordan, but the thing's like, I didn't know if I had a code name, a code word that he could give to Jordan so that Jordan knows he's with me, because I really think that I can work with Jordan very well moving forward. I'm always trying to, it's so hard because I'm always trying to send her signals, like, eye signals, but I realized she has a freaking screen with like 20 people, so she probably, she's like, everyone probably think I'm giving him eye signals at this point, so whatever.
I think we're coming to a rendezvous soon, and I'm just trying to stay alive to try to snake these guys out of this $1 million. What? It's not $1 million. There is no prize. But I'm feeling good about my placement in here. I'm making connections with Lainey, Trent, and Carl and them guys, and I'm just trying to stay off and just try to win. I want to win.
Hey, what's
up, buddy?
Just pleading my case. But I already know, Robin kind of already filled me in and was saying,
I gotta jump. I can't hear him.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so Robin already kind of filled me in saying that you guys are pretty tight. So I guess the only thing that I can say is that I mean, I don't know what you guys want to do, but I mean, I could just spill some mad tea for you really quick if you're into that.
I mean, let's hear it.
Okay, I mean, the only thing that I could think of is that Robin, myself, Carl, and Trent had made a Day Zero alliance, and I kind of got the vibes that Robin was going to stay true to you guys, but he was tossing around the idea of once Rendezvous connects, him, Jordan, Carl, Trent kind of start just sweeping the house. And since Trent and Carl are pretty tight with Lainey and Michael, they're gonna knock out the other two. So
I haven't even talked to any of those people.
Yeah, I haven't talked to anybody in the other party. So
yeah, and Jon Snow was kind of already saying, "Hey, get rid of Arliana first." So he's. I mean, what else are you gonna do, right? I would have done the same thing with Lindsay. Lindsay would have done the same thing with me. But I guess
what did you say to Jordan when you were talking to her?
On Day Zero, we talked. But, I mean, so Jordan, it was myself, Jordan, Trent, and Robin. We were talking about forming an alliance, and then I spoke with Carl. We ended up on the same team with Trent, so us three were pretty solid.
I'm still staying strong with Jordan and Arliana. Unfortunately, Arliana is in the new Shira party on the bottom of that party because she is an original Kibo member. So if she can make it through, if there's another crossroad, if she can make it through that crossroad and we can get into a merge, then Robin, Danielle, Jordan, myself, and Arliana, we can stay Kibo strong and keep our alliance strong if that's what we choose. But I don't know if I want to stick with my party lines, but I definitely want to stick with Jordan and Arliana. So I'm just hoping Arliana makes it. If there's another crossroad, I hope Arliana makes it through that crossroad.
So, I mean, right now you have Jordan and Robin who are pretty close. So if you guys are wanting
information.
Well, I mean, I have nothing to go for except to try to
That's huge information.
It's huge information.
And I cross my to even further my faith in you guys and my trust, because if I can't use it after today anyway, what's the matter? I have 2 clues to the compass, so I'm willing to I'm willing to share them with you if I stay. But I mean, actually,
But you want to stay with me and Sneha and get rid of who?
I mean, I would be down to get rid of Robin, and then just keep Jordan, and hopefully she would just be more lenient, But I mean, or we could get rid of Jordan if you guys wanted to. But I definitely think those two being solid, no matter what happens, they're going to be like a power couple. At least, I don't know what your relationship is, but at least me, I'm just going to stay with you guys no matter what.
But are you gonna Are you gonna go back to your
Who's your
day zero
alliance?
alliance?
Who's your alliance?
So my closest alliance over there is Carl. So I feel like no matter what, I could pull in Carl, and I could definitely pull in Lainey because she's the one that pulled me. So me and her are close. And also, I saved Lainey from day one's vote. I got them to put Rosemary down. So I'm thinking what we could do is just, us three kind of come up from the underdogs and just kind of like pull in the others and just kind of roll house. But I understand, what you guys want to do, but it's not like we spent days together. I'm not opposed to betraying people's original alliance. But I just wanted to let you know that I tried to
that's
get
something
Robin.
to think about because, we didn't know that information, obviously. So
I tried to get Robin to see where he was at, and he was like, honestly, it's going to be hard for you. So I feel like, why not add a blind side to your resume tonight?
Yeah, it's a smart move.
Yeah.
That's what Robin said? No, what do you mean?
No, that's what Austin's saying.
Yeah, you guys can make an interesting move and kind of like shake the game up or just kind of ride the numbers.
Like, yeah, I want to vote Robin. I want to make a big move tonight. And I was like, dang, if he would have said anybody else, I would have been like, yeah, I'm down. But he said Robin. And me and Robin are like this.
Oh, God.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Jordan and Robin are tight. Like, have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's speaking
definitely.
He's speaking a strong suit right there because I'm worried about being at the bottom of Jordan and Robin. But I want to stay Kibo strong at the same time. Like, what do you feel?
I don't know. I just don't know if I should trust Austin or not. That's what I don't know.
Okay, I'll tell you something too. I got something to tell you.
Okay.
Day 0, Robin came into my chat with Jon Snow and made a 6-person alliance. Jordan, Robin, Jon Snow, me, Trent, and Austin. So, but he hadn't said that he told Austin or Jordan about it yet because it was only me, John, Robin, and Trent in the room at the time. And he's the one who pulled out. He said Austin and Trent because I was going to say you. But I'm thinking, okay, well, as long as I can keep Sneha safe if I'm in an alliance like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, he's been saying Jordan the whole time. He's obviously for sure working with Trent because that's the second alliance that is said with Trent.
Yeah, but do those alliances even stand now because they were never in a party?
It won't stand right now because we're separate.
No, I know. But even if we go to a merge, he's created a bond with most of us now. So is he going to go back to?
I truly feel like I want to trust him, but at the same time, it's definitely scary.
Oh man. Is it too early or is it the right time?
I want to do whatever you want to do, actually. If you want to stay Kibo strong, I'm down to vote with you, because I feel like you're my strongest ally in this party. But, I'm DNS, Alberta strong, baby, but, I don't know what's the proper move for us right now.
I don't know what the proper move is. I want to stay Kibo strong.
I think Robin and Austin are both huge threats. Either way,
I know. Either way, we're taking out a huge threat, but just which one?
Austin fights hard. He doesn't know that I felt vulnerable in point 1. Of course, he doesn't go targeting me. Why would he? No, he targets Robin. Super, super smart move, giving Austin props 100. Robin's obviously making multiple alliances. It is apparent Jordan is his number 1 at this point in the game right now.
I miss your face.
I know. I freaking hate.
Arleon, I gotta talk to you. I gotta talk to you before anybody jumps in here.
Okay, go ahead.
What has anybody said to you right now?
As far as on the other tribe?
No, I mean in our group right now for who are voting.
Everyone's telling me Austin.
There's a huge twist in here.
You already know that there's a twist?
No, I don't know that there's a twist.
Everyone has told me Austin because you guys need to stay strong.
Who do you feel the closest with out of Kibo?
Out of Kibo?
Yeah.
I vibed with you. I vibed with Sneha.
Listen to this. Austin comes into the room with me and Sneha and tells us that Robin and Jordan created an alliance with Kim, Robin, Jordan, Trent, and Carl, and someone else on the other tribe, and then when they go to merge, they're gonna wipe everybody out. That's what Austin's preaching to me and Sneha, and wants me and Sneha to flip and vote out Robin.
Well, here we are again, the new Kibo party. You guys can't stay away from me. How are we doing tonight? It's almost the same dynamic as last time, but we have two new faces. Austin, welcome back. Arliana, welcome to your temporary party. Austin, I'm probably going to talk to you a bit tonight, so let's start with you. You stepped up. You did the challenge twice. Why did you step up?
Well, I knew I had nothing to lose, and if I could help us win and get in their good favors, why not?
Did you feel like your back is against the wall?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious, coming in when I saw Lindsay's face wasn't there, that they were going to be pretty tight. And I mean, Robin, like shot it straight with me that they were pretty tight. So I definitely knew going in that I had some work cut out for me.
Robin, he says you told him what happened. What'd you tell him about the last vote?
Oh, sorry. I meant he just said I got a lot of fighting to do tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not about the last vote, but...
Well, I'm asking Robin anyway. What did you tell him about the last vote?
I basically told him what happened. I told him that Lindsay put up a fight, which she, rightfully so, but that we kind of, after the party swap, ended up with people from our original party who we were already tight with them over there, so there's no reason really for us not to be tight over here. And I told him that, unless something crazy happens, that he would probably have to fight a little bit and do some negotiating, which I know he tried to negotiate with me a little bit. I'm assuming he tried to negotiate with everybody else as well. And again, rightfully so, I would do exactly the same thing if I were in his position.
Does everybody feel like they got the pitch from Austin tonight?
Like a softball player.
Slow pitch or fast pitch?
It was all over.
all over. All right. I want to talk about that dynamic a little bit more, but first let's talk to our visitor, Arliana.
Hello.
Welcome. I hope that everybody has been very nice to you in your temporary quarters. They chose you without knowing the stakes. What was going through your mind before I explained what was at play here?
I was just honestly nervous as hell. I was just kind of thinking, when I'm hearing you say it all, we know that there's so many twists in this game. You never know what's going to happen. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if this screws me somehow, or we come over there and then you say something like, and now Arliana's part of the mix to get voted out, or whatever. But you did kind of throw something in there. But
it was close to that. Yeah.
So, I was a little bit nervous, but I mean, you want to be happy that you're getting to witness the crossroads and you get to see the dynamics and know what's going on. But at the same time, I'm nervous because you don't know what's going on at the other party. So,
Sneha, in this situation, is this a good thing to be picked? Is this a bad thing to be picked?
It's probably a good thing to be picked because you're for sure safe, because you get the choice to be safe.
She didn't know that.
That's true. She didn't know that. I mean, I was worried about if she came to our tribe and it negatively affected her too. So it was a toss-up how it would have gone.
Jordan, how has Arliana's visit to your camp been? Has it been informative or has it been weird? Are you guys standoffish? How has this visit been?
Am I me? No, okay. I got to talk to her for a split second, but it was nice to gain a little information about things that happened at their party. I wish that I got to chat with her a little more, but it was a pleasure to have her here.
Danielle, are we just having the same conversation we had last time? Or should I use the same notes I had last time?
Yeah, I think you should just go off those.
Alright, well, why don't you catch Arliana and Austin up with where we are then?
Kibo is strong. Kibo 4 will probably stick together. Our tribe didn't have really too much gap space. If we knew that the person wouldn't have been safe, there's a chance that we could have went another route with bringing someone over, but not knowing anything, I mean, we just had to take the chances and bringing Arliana over. We trust her, and if we would have had a vote, it would have still been Kibo strong.
Okay, Austin, your turn. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's exactly what I expected to hear, and honestly, that's kind of, as a viewer of Survivor, that's kind of like the last thing I want to see is like an expected gameplay. And I mean, we're only here for a few days. Why not have fun with it? Why not make the most of it? Why not try to change the game up? And I mean, like I was telling everybody else, the top 3 of last season in season 2, 2 of them were in the majority alliance that ran the whole game, and neither of them won because they weren't making moves. The one who was on the bottom the entire time, not even having alliances, jumping around, he won because he was making moves from the beginning. And if you guys want to make moves, why not do it now when it's not really going to affect you too much? Like, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, Austin.
I was just going to say, I'll have allegiance to you guys, and basically I'll be under your foot the whole time. So, I mean, you guys could do that. Or you could side with people who made alliances on day 0 with other people on the tribe, leaving you 2 or 3 at the bottom of the alliance. So, you know, you could go with me with somebody who is going to be grateful, or you can go with somebody and keep them who already has connections.
Austin makes great points, but you're basically just making your own resume if we voted with you. Like, this is helping you if you got to the final ascension or whatever. So it's like, do we want to help you, or do we want to help ourselves and stay with our majority alliance that we have been and stay safe at least for another round? So, I mean, you do make good points, but you're also hurting yourself when you're making those points.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's the caveat of fighting for yourself. You know, when you're on the bottom, you have nothing to lose, so why not just spew everything and hopefully change some minds? But you guys say that you're a majority alliance, but what if the next thing is when you guys reunite and become one party, you're not going to be in the majority alliance anymore. You're literally going to be the bottom. You two, Danielle and Sneha. So...
You say that, but you don't exactly know the dynamics between some of us.
That's it. Austin is
I'm curious,
calling
why
out.
Do you think that
Yeah.
are the bottom?
Well, I don't think that you are the bottom currently. I just feel like that may be kind of where your expected gameplay may go. Because...
But you're also assuming that we don't have gameplay with our own alliance. Like, you're assuming that what they have established on day 0 is going to stay stronger than what we have established since that day.
No, you're right, but also it's only been a day. It's not like we're on Survivor where it's been days where we're huddling together and somebody annoyed you because they stole your food. So, I mean, I'm not trying to say anybody is a bad game player at all. I'm just saying, like, it's just more fun to be risky. So I am maybe building a resume, but I mean, like, isn't that the goal of this? And I don't really have too much going on my plate. It would just be surviving. Surviving a vote, that's on my resume. That's not really anything to think about.
Your plate has a big hole in it too. All of you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I actually had a good, decent paper plate.
I did not. Docs, you were on fire. Like, every time you come up with a zinger, I love it.
Oh, I appreciate this. You can keep talking then. You can keep talking. Jordan, I think Austin brings up some good points. Like, one of the things I hear is, well, we shouldn't go with him because this gives him a good resume at the final ascent, how many people are left in the game? And how far away are we from the final ascent?
I mean, we still have a lot of game left. I mean, Austin brings up good points. Everybody brings up good points. I mean, I really don't even know what to say. Like,
is this a live crossroads?
Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Well, I mean,
been speechless this entire time.
Depends on how the votes go, but if you're saying that there's a chance, Arliana, let's hear from you. You're the impartial observer. You're my partner in crime as the impartial observer here. What do you think about what you're seeing here?
It's interesting because I can empathize with Austin because I feel like I'm at the bottom of the numbers on that side too. So I totally get needing to fight for your life. I get it. But I also get needing to stay strong where it's strong. And if there's no reason to ruffle feathers, then why ruffle feathers if you have been strong? But at the same time, like, you got to applaud him trying to figure out how to get himself to stay in this game. If he was just kind of like, oh, I just kind of accept it, that's one thing. But he's truly trying to fight to stay in this game.
Question. The thing that made you an impartial observer, you didn't feel comfortable giving up your exemption. Share your thoughts on that.
I mean, honestly, you just never know what's going to happen. But at the same time, I feel like I kind of had an idea of what was going to happen tonight. So to me, like, if I look at it, I'm like, well, I don't necessarily need to vote if I know, or I think I know what's going to happen. And you never know what's going to happen. But in my mind, there wasn't there was no necessity for me to vote tonight. So.
Okay. Sneha, tell me the dynamic difference, like, in camp between the last round and this round.
I don't really think there was much of a difference. The only difference is that Austin replaced Lindsay. That was basically the only dynamic difference. I feel like Austin would have had a much easier time convincing at least half of us if Lindsay was still here. But because it's just him, it's kind of hard to convince three people to flip.
You'd only need to flip 2.
That's right. That's
because
true.
he does get the vote. So, Austin, I'm not even going to bother asking anybody else questions about this. I mean, it keeps coming back to you. How do you feel? What do you want to say to them?
Well, I mean, I'm sure nobody wants to get voted out, and I'm a recent Survivor fan, so obviously I wanted to stay in here and I wanted to do the best that I can, and I feel like I'm a good challenge person to have on your team if you guys, continue to be in there. I feel like, as displayed on my attempts, I've kind of kicked butt in challenges. So, I don't know if that's burying me in the trench for when we become solo competitors. But if we're still on a team, I'm somebody that's, not going to hold us back. And then other than that, all I can pander and say is, you have people on here that have tight alliances. Well, I mean, as tight as day 0 can be, but you still have people that made connections, and that might be something they try to fall back on. So why not try to nip that in the butt? But I mean, I understand with being safe, but safe is boring to me. I'd rather have fun and try to build a quote unquote resume. But your resume would be keeping me as a pawn and getting rid of one of your competitors in biggest competitions. I wouldn't get that resume vote, I don't think, at the end, because all I'm doing is just surviving. I didn't play a game, I didn't make a move, I didn't get anybody out. You guys would have gotten them out. So that's your resume that you're trying to build. But if you guys want to, play it safe, I understand. But, there's only a few days left, so why not have fun with them? And that's kind of like my strategy in trying to stay alive. Stay alive.
I appreciate that. Does anybody else have anything that they want to chime in before we vote?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm here to have fun too, but to me personally, winning is fun, and I want one of the 5 people that are in here right now, either myself, Sneha, Arliana, Danielle, or Jordan, to win. So it might be boring.
Jordan.
It might be boring, and it might be, bland or whatever, but I think that this is the best move for us.
For sure. But I think the way you ordered those names are pretty important too. So just throwing that out there.
I just ordered them based on the order in which they're on the screen. Sneha's right beside me, and then Arliana, and then Danielle's on top, and then Jordan's all the way at the right. So that's how I ordered them.
So I'll have to take your word for it.
Oh my gosh.
I love
the fighting.
Yes.
Like, this is stuff I love to see.
He's a fighter for sure. He's a fighter for sure.
No doubt
From Florida, you guys.
All right, does anybody else have anything they'd like to add before we vote?
Please keep me.
Okay, Arliana has individual exemption tonight. You have the option. Are you keeping it? Or would you like to give it up and vote with everybody?
I'm just going to keep it.
Okay, Arliana is keeping individual exemption, so you may not vote for her. It's time to vote. Let's go vote. Okay, I have received all of the votes. Before I read the votes, if you have a hidden advantage that you would like to play, now is the time to do so.
Yeah, Docs. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there. That's better. I can see you guys now.
Oh my god, I hate you, Austin. I hate you.
You had me, Austin. You had me. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, our first vote is for Austin. Our second vote is for Robin. Our third vote is for Austin. That's 2 Austin, 1 Robin. 2 votes left. Our fourth vote is for Austin. Austin, that's enough. Do you have any last words for your party?
Yes, it was super fun playing with you guys, even though it was short, and good luck to everybody.
Good game,
care,
Austin.
man.
Good job,
Austin.
buddy.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Have a good one.
Bye,
Thank you, Austin.
You're great.
Good.
Invest in better paper plates, Robin.
All right, thank you, Austin. Unfortunately, your expedition has come to an end. Everybody else, we're gonna send you back.
Oh, and with that, we lose a massive competitor in Austin. I mean, he really proved himself in this round that he was here to play, and he threw absolutely everything he could at his fellow party mates, but unfortunately, down in the original numbers and wasn't able to climb out, was he?
Yeah, it's really hard when you're in the minority and you're swap screwed, but I feel like he did absolutely everything he could. He was emphasizing who's close to who. He was like talking about building resumes and talking long term. So I feel like he did like a really good job, and I feel like we're actually considering keeping him. It just didn't work out in the end.
Yeah, I mean, he really shone the spotlight right onto Robin, pointing out that he's got a lot of control in the party. We pointed out a Day Zero alliance that he had made with Austin, saying, hey, he's got numbers he can kind of go to. Basically, anything he could to kind of push that target onto Robin, which it looked like he was gaining some traction there in the middle of Crossroads, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Danielle said it was a live crossroads, and I feel like he put the target on the right person, because it's pretty obvious that Robin's not afraid to kind of be seen as the leader and be more vocal, and he is going to be hard to beat in the long-term game. So I feel like his read on the game was really good to put the target on Robin.
Yeah, Austin, and you know, the tough part about being in the spots that Austin's in is every great point he makes, also comes back with the, yeah, but it's going to be your move, as Sneha was pretty quick to point out. I really feel like, I'm not big on swap screwed, especially when you've had 2 rounds, but in this particular situation, I think Austin did absolutely everything he could to try to pull himself out, but unfortunately everything he did just pushed himself further in, so he gets really unlucky there. And then we have Ariana, who gets to sit in on the crossroads, see everything kind of go down there. It was interesting to see how she really was tightening back up with the old Kibo. It's really looking like an original party game at this point. Let's wrap it up for round 5. It really was a crazy round, and I think it's just setting things up for the rest of this game as we start to get into the heart of the game here. Party lines are not going to last too much longer. Players have got to start looking towards the individual game where things are really going to get ramped up. So let's leave things here for round 5. I want to thank Kimmy Page for joining me in the commentator booth tonight. I was Jonathan Dykes. This was Expedition Online.
My vote is for Robin. It's the only move I could make, and I hope people to make a fun move. But if not, it was nice getting to meet everybody and plead for my life.
Okay, I am basing my vote on just keeping Kibo strong right now. I want to flip so bad, but Sneha did not give me anything to bite with, and I can't flip by myself. Fortunately, Austin, I would have loved to work with you.
So I was really considering trying to keep you. If I could have, I would have, but you kind of started throwing my game. You started kind of throwing me under the bus, so I'm sorry. You were being a little too messy for me. I'm sorry, Austin, but you gotta go.
Austin, you said some things tonight that might end up hurting me in the future. You are a very good player and a really cool guy, and I'm sad to see you go, but also I'm not really that sad to see you go.
I hope this is not a bad move. He made some great arguments, Austin, but I'm going to trust Robin for now, so I'm voting out Austin.
Austin, man, he is a fighter. Oh my goodness. He brought up some real good points when we were at Crossroads, and honestly, I was really ready to flip, but I knew that we did not have numbers, and I could not do anything if we didn't have the numbers.
The Kibo party got to save someone, and I joined them at Crossroads. I chose to not do a vote. I didn't feel like I needed to do a vote. I feel like it was kind of clear cut, and I was right. It was Austin that was voted out. So I'm going back to my party tomorrow, and I really hope I'm safe and we continue to let me get it to where at least when we get to the rendezvous, I'm still good.
One of 3 things could happen. We could be going to a rendezvous, which adds a new element to the game. We could be swapping tribes again, which could add a new element to the game, or we might have to go into a competition 4-on-6, which I don't even know what that's going to entail. So I think that there are tough times ahead, but I'm having fun. They've been easy decisions so far, but I mean, I think that starting at the next round, the decisions are no longer going to be easy.